Tetris is a game of fitting together uneven pieces to create the perfect even stack. But what if you couldn't rotate the pieces? Is the game still even possible? Are there any strategies you can use? And what would it take to get the world record? This is the No Piece Rotation Challenge in NES Tetris Explained, which includes a discussion with a current world record holder and my journey to try and beat the world record myself. At the beginning of the Tetris documentary Ecstasy of Order, the first person we're introduced to is Ben Mullen, who's competing in a local Tetris tournament with a twist.
Ben was just informed that in the final match, the players won't be allowed to rotate the pieces. This is considered a very unusual style of play. Ben wins with a score of 2,586 points.
This is what 15 years of playing one game and one game only will get you.
He was able to get 6 lines on level 9 in NES Tetris. That may not sound like much, but it's more than most people would be able to do across different versions of Tetris. Guideline Tetris player Tafokins has attempted to play without rotations in Tetris 99, but because all the pieces spawn with their bottoms flat, it's impossible for him to get rid of any garbage sent to him.
I can't fill this with this piece because there's nothing with a width of 1.
It's also incredibly difficult for him to even burn single lines because most of the pieces are just creating awkward bumpy stacks that he's unable to neatly put pieces on top of.
This is literally impossible.
He was eventually able to crack the top 50 in a round basically just by stalling and not hard dropping the pieces to slow the rate of putting stuff on his stack as much as possible. He ended up burning just 3 lines and was just waiting it out until he was sent enough garbage to be eliminated. In NES Tetris, where the pieces spawn facing downward, the player at least has a fighting chance to clear stuff down. To the current knowledge of the community, there is a tie for the world record between 3 different people who all have 24 lines each. I did also reach out to Ben Mullen to see what his personal best was, and he told me he was able to reach at least 23 lines back in the 90s, but unfortunately he doesn't have a video. He's basically the Thor Ackerland of no rotation. So just how hard exactly is it to play without rotating? I sat down for a few hours to try and find out myself.
The first goal is to beat Ben Mullen's score of 2,586 and 6 lines on level 9, which is what he used to win the tournament way back in the day. And the second goal is to try and get 25 lines, which would be the world record on video. All right, 2,586, it's a score to beat. Okay, Finally a useful piece. 1 line.
2 lines.
7 lines. 2,800. Beat it on the first try.
Here it says, get wrecked, Ben.
That was some intense stuff. All right, so now that we got our first goal on the first try, the second goal is to try and go for the world record. So we're going to start on level 0. Arg. All right, 7 lines, first attempt. Let's try for take number 2. T-piece, come on, come on, come on. Dang it. Come on. Oh!
Still playing.
Still playing. Oh! 9 lines. 9 lines, 10 lines. We made it to level 1 for the first time. Okay, that'll keep me alive, will it? Ah!
Nice.
No! Ah!
Oh.
12 lines. Oh, dang it, dang it, dang it. Come on. Perfect piece, perfect piece.
All right, 13. Oh, get
13,
oh, man,
13, 13. Oh, these are such terrible pieces for the situation. Yes! Arg! 14 lines. Arg! 14 lines again. All right, squares, squares. We love the squares, we love the squares. Squares are nice. Squares are our friends. Skim, 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 right off the top. Rocket pop. We're off to a rocking start here with 4 lines. See, this is tough because normally I want to put it here, but I have the T coming next, so I have to create somewhere where the T is kind of useful. So if I put it there, then the T is kind of useful. Ah, see, there's the next level move. I saw a double that I could do after thinking about it for a moment. You really, really have to think about both of the pieces in context of each other. This is going to be tough. All right, there's 1 more line. 14. 15 lines. I want more. I want more. Ah! Dang it. Dang it.
Can I try it now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so what level do I start on?
Level 0. All right, so what's going through your mind?
Just trying to stack it, I guess. I'm just trying to, like, use the next piece to, like, my advantage in a way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think you can get a line there.
Where?
If you put it all the way to the left and then put the line piece.
Oh, true.
It's like a puzzle.
I guess it's not like I'm not thinking of it like that, I guess, anyway. Ah! Why'd that move?
Early Dassler on level 0.
annoying.
Trapstone says, no rotations is like a whole new game. Yeah, pretty much.
Try it again. Ah! Well, I got 6 lines.
So, what did you learn from playing this version?
It's definitely a lot more thinking where instead of like actual playing Tetris, like you can just like flip it and you can just stick it wherever. But this one, it's like you have to like think about where each piece is going.
For me, it's like you're thinking 2 moves ahead. So instead of thinking in terms of your current piece, it's like you've already decided where your current piece is going to go. And then you're basically looking at your next piece and deciding where that's going to go, and then thinking about what you could get after your next piece to put it where to go. And then sometimes you can think about your current piece, your next piece, and the piece you'll get after that, all in context together. When you're thinking on the level 0 speed, it gives you the time to try and figure out all those permutations together.
To sum it up, playing with no rotations is hard. So what would an expert have to say about it?
Hey, I'm Kofi. Yeah, I've been playing NES Tetris for about a year and a half, and I'm currently the tied world record holder in no rotation with 24 lines.
Well, thanks for coming on. So what are kind of some of the main strategies you have to go for with this play style?
One of the main things I try to do is avoiding 3 wide 1 deep indents in my stack because they spiral really quickly into dependencies for certain piece combos. I also try to watch out for adjustments every piece, and I know when to discard pieces to the far left and right. In general, if you want to practice no row, you have to be playing the game a decent bit to get a feel for general stacking concepts.
How would you rank the pieces in usefulness?
For me, the O piece tops the charts as the best piece in no rotation because, of course, you don't need to rotate it and it's pretty versatile in general. The L and J pieces come next because they fill in dependencies on the left and right, which are pretty common. The T piece comes next because you can fill in 1 wide indents in your stack. S and Z you don't generally want, but they're better than the I piece for me because working with flat long bars only is very tough when you can't rotate any other pieces.
Was there any moment in your 24 lines game that you felt was like a good representation of strategy?
Well, a lot of it boils down to RNG, and I didn't do anything too spectacular that game, but at 21 lines, I had a pretty nice Z placement, which was an adjustment for an O that led to a line clear I wouldn't have gotten with any other placement. I think it's a nice way to show off the non-traditional stacking concepts of no row and how crucial adjustments can be.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me. You can check out my live streams at twitch.tv/coffeeow, or if you want to watch or experience Team Tetris competition, you can join the Classic Tetris Gangs Discord at tinyurl.com/Tetris Gangs.
Yeah, so Kofi is one of the administrators over on that server. Basically, the idea is instead of just playing for yourself, you join a gang, and whenever you play someone, you're earning street cred and additional points towards your gang rating. Now, I'm currently not affiliated with a gang myself. I don't want to risk my position within the Minesweeper Mafia, but if this is something that sounds interesting to you, you can head over to the Discord link in the description and get recruited. Overall, I find no rotations to be a really interesting challenge. It flips a lot of the core Tetris concepts completely on their head. Usually when people rate their favorite Tetris pieces, the line pieces are at the top and the squares are at the bottom. But Kofi rated them the complete opposite. I'm really curious to see if there's like some next level strategies that someone will come up with to just blow the current world record out of the water. It's a challenge that doesn't require a game genie, so anybody who plays NES Tetris can attempt it. If you're looking to do some attempts, hopefully this video was a helpful starting point. Anyways, thanks for watching, and to the very least, I'll see you next Tuesday.